Welcome back. 2 days to go until the critical New York primary Tuesday night. What are the biggest issues for GOP voters in the Empire State? We'll talk about it right now with former Republican Congresswoman Nan Hayworth from New York and Democratic Congressman Eliot Engel, also from New York. He is also a Clinton campaign supporter. Good to see you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks. Thank you.
Well, the question that I just asked Newt Gingrich, I think, was appropriate because ordinarily you would say, what matters to New Yorkers? Okay, well, let's look at the unemployment situation. Let's look at where the growth is, and it would become clear what's important to New York voters. But it's different this time around, isn't it?
Well, we have a fascinating primary process, obviously, Maria. We have, a blunt-spoken businessman. We have a conscientious constitutionalist, and we have a pragmatic, proven governor who, all of whom represent some part of what voters are talking about right now. They're frustrated. People in New York are fed up with their high taxes, with unemployment. They want a path forward, and we've got three different people, any of whom would be preferable to the Democratic nominees, respectfully spoken.
What do you think, Congressman, people are focused on? What's most important and will drive their vote Tuesday?
Well, I think people want a results-oriented candidate. They think that Washington is broken, and that's why you see in both parties, I think, a lot of rumblings. But I think what people want, someone who's steady, who's proven, who has a record of getting things done. It's one of the reasons I support Hillary Clinton. I think she has shown that through the years. She was senator of New York for 8 years.
How does she get around this whole, narrative of she is establishment? Washington is broken, and she's part of it.
Well, I think if that's the main thrust of what someone is thinking, then they probably won't be for establishment candidates. But I don't think that, I think she's got a record, and I think she's got a good record, and I think she's smart and intelligent and results-oriented and hardworking, and the kind of senator she was for us in New York, I think that's the kind of president she'll be. She's had everything thrown at her but the kitchen sink, and she's still coming out on top, and I think she's going to be the next president.
But I think the problem is that what we've seen in Washington and here in New York is that a government-heavy system doesn't work. It enriches those who are on the inside, and Hillary Clinton is the ultimate insider. Certainly that's what GOP voters are looking at. That's why, frankly, two of the candidates we have, obviously Mr. Trump and Senator Cruz, are regarded as outsiders because people are fed up with a system that clearly empowers those who have the money, the resources, the connections to get ahead.
Which is why the outsiders are in the lead right now, because people are saying, okay, forget about the fact that, for example, financial services is the largest industry in New York, and that, the unemployment rate is below the national average. I want change. I'm not feeling good about a system that's broken. So go with the guy who, as Newt just said, was going to knock over the table.
Of course, you also want to go with someone who's competent, who knows the issues, who understands the issues. I think Donald Trump has shown that he really doesn't understand the issues, and I think Ted Cruz has shown that he's so rigid that a lot of his own colleagues don't even want to support him. But so I think we need to have somebody who has a proven track record of getting things done and working, frankly, across the aisle, and I think Hillary Clinton has done that, and I think she'll do it as president.
Are you surprised that she's getting such a tight race from Bernie Sanders?
I'm not surprised, because I think Bernie has the ability. Look, I know Bernie, too. I served with him for 16 years in the House. And he has the ability to get people enthused about his campaign, especially the young people.
So why did you choose Hillary to support over Bernie Sanders, if you know him as well?
Well, I know both of them, but again, I think when you look at what they've accomplished, I think Hillary has accomplished a great deal more. And I want to say something. I think that the Democratic Party will unite and will move forward. 8 years ago, you had the same thing between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and the party united and went on to victory, and I think that's going to happen again.
Nan, do you think the Republicans will unite, and who do they rally around?
Yeah, I think they have to, Maria, and indeed, we've got an interesting spectrum of candidates, but any one of them on their worst day will be better than, in terms of advancing the policies that will actually help the American people to be empowered, to do better. Any of them on their worst day will be better than Hillary or Senator Sanders on their best day.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
Republicans need to remember, never say never. Vote for the nominee. Whoever it is, Republicans need to unite.
If it's not Donald Trump, will the GOP voters still come out? Will voters still come out? Because there is the sense that if it's not their guy, that there will be a real upset.
Right. Well, you know, Maria, it's going to be up to Senator Cruz or Governor Kasich if one of them emerges from the convention, and there could very well be a contested convention, and they're going to have to do a lot with the rules. There's a lot of technicalities, but people are going, those two candidates, whoever it is who ends up the nominee, is going to have to work very hard to unite the party, and they're going to have to reach out to people who feel disaffected and are very frustrated.
And I think Hillary Clinton said it. You know, the margin of the difference between her and Bernie Sanders now is a lot more than it was between her and Barack Obama. I mean, it was much closer between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, and the party united and won, and that will happen, and that will happen.
Do you worry about the FBI investigation if anything comes out of this? Is there a plan B just in case?
Well, we're not sitting thinking of plan Bs. We support Hillary, and we believe that she's telling the truth, and she's had everything thrown at her but the kitchen sink, and she's still leading in the polls. So I think that tells you something.
We'll leave
She's the ultimate insider.
Congresswoman, good to see you both. Thank you so much for joining us.